Hello, my name is Chris Davis, and I'm the founder and owner of First Note Music Supply, an online music store that has accessories for your beginning band and orchestra student. In this video, we're going to answer the question, how much should these instruments really cost? It's a question I get a lot. How much do these instruments cost? Because if you go on the internet, prices are all over the place. You know, a Google search for how much a trumpet costs is going to get you just a massive range. And you know they can't all be too good to be true. So let's start with that. If the price is too good to be true, it probably is. And by too good to be true, I mean an instrument for a few $100s. Because in general, that just isn't enough money to spend to cover the costs and expenses of manufacturing a quality musical instrument. So let's take that and let's put that in the back and just kind of set that aside. Too good to be true? I guarantee you that it is. So before we get into the discussion of what instruments should cost, I do want to make a qualification. We're going to talk in this video about manufacturer's suggested retail price, or MSRP. Each manufacturer sets an MSRP for each of their instruments. When you go to purchase it, your local music store may discount off of that MSRP. And the discounts are usually pretty similar because they're competing with each other. So they're pretty competitive. But what's going to remain constant is the manufacturer's suggested retail price. So those are the numbers we're going to use today. It will probably not reflect the amount you will actually pay. You will very probably pay less, sometimes significantly less. But the MSRP is the unchangeable standard that if you look up on the internet, you'll be able to find it. So let's talk about the least expensive level of instruments, which your son or daughter is probably looking at getting now as a beginner. And these are what the industry we call student level instruments. These are instruments designed for beginning students. That's generally what student level means. Even though, yes, you can be a student all the way through college, when we talk about a student level instrument, we're talking about a beginner's instrument. And this includes instruments like flute, clarinet, trumpet, trombone, alto saxophone, and some small percussion kits. For a student instrument, the retail price should be somewhere around $1,000 to $1,200. Okay, I'll repeat it again. The retail price should be around $1,000. That's for flute, trumpet, clarinet, and trombone. Saxophones are always more expensive. And that's just because of the quality of the way they're constructed. They have the expensive brass of a brass instrument with all the key work of a woodwind instrument, so they cost more. A student saxophone will have a retail price of about $1,800 to $2,000. So that's where you should be looking for MSRP. The next level of instruments, sometimes called step-up or semi-professional instruments. Every music store has something a little bit different, but it's the next step up above a student level instrument. And those usually have an MSRP of between $3,000 and $5,000. Again, depending on the instrument and the brand, but it's several $1,000s. And then finally, level 3 are really expensive instruments, big instruments like tubas and bassoons, high-level professional trumpets and trombones. These often have MSRPs of $5,000 and more, and for some instruments like bassoons and tubas, it can reach into 5 figures. It can reach over $10,000. So I say all this to say, they're not inexpensive. If you do a Google search and you're coming up with $99 trumpets, you're in the wrong neighborhood. So, another thing that you should be aware of is something that's called minimum advertised pricing. Minimum advertised pricing, or MAP, is something that many legitimate manufacturers put in place to keep music stores from advertising their prices very, very low. So I'm going to make these numbers up. A trumpet may have an MSRP of $1,500 and a MAP of $1,200. That means that the music dealer can only list it for $1,200 in their advertising. Now, they may sell it for less. In fact, they can sell it at any price that they wish. They simply can't advertise a super low price. So my recommendation to you is to always, always call or visit the store in question to see the instrument and get a price quote in person or over the phone so that you can get the true price of what you're paying. Moral of the story, band and orchestra instruments are expensive and have MSRPs usually around $1,000 or more. So as you're searching for your brands, keep that in mind. Make sure you call your local music store to get a price quote on the instrument that you're looking to purchase. And while you're shopping, make sure you head over to firstnotemusicsupply.com to get all the accessories that your child's going to need to be successful in band or orchestra. Thank you, and we'll see you again here soon.